Hi, I'm Keith Cooper of Northlight Images, and in this video I'm going to have a quick look at what new printers are on the way. Unfortunately, there is only one new printer that I know for certain is on the way. That's the Epson P5500. I'll cover that in a moment, but I've been asked by quite a lot of people, is this time to get a new printer? Well, I'm asked this often and I say yes, if you want to print, get one. There's no printer currently around which I wouldn't suggest getting. They are better than they used to be. Printers get better. But what's likely to happen? The P5300, as I said, was announced in the States and then a little bit later announced everywhere else. It is the P700-900 inks print head in a P5000 body. That's me by this P5000 here. It's a big printer. It's a printer that needs regular use. It's a commercial sort of, for day-to-day use. It's intended heavy duty use. The 5300, same chassis, but ink set and print header than P700, P900. So should be a lot better with lighter use. The roll paper is excellent because it will be the same as this one here. So that's a known. But still haven't seen one. Epson UK have said they'll sort one out for me to have a look at once they have one themselves, which suggests that if you're actually looking for one, you're unlikely to be able to get one for a few months yet. But the one that I'm most often asked to printer about is the Canon Pro 1000. That is now getting a bit long in the tooth. I think I reviewed it in 2015, 2016 even, so it's getting on. But printers do last longer than cameras. If you'd have asked me this question last year, I'd have said yes, I think it's quite likely we're going to get a replacement for it. I was wrong. I was wrong the year before that as well. It shows how much attention you should pay to some of these predictions you'll find on websites and channels and that. But I think we might be seeing one next summer. Does that mean you shouldn't get a 1000 if it does what you want? No. Because if you want to print, it's a great printer. There are no significant issues with it. If you don't use it much, it does use quite a bit of ink and cleaning. I would expect if we're going to see one, there might be an announcement in the spring, but I'm still not going to put a lot of money on it. At the moment, the Pro 1000 still has the best sheet feeding of paper that I've come across on a desktop printer. I would say of equivalent, one the 5300 here will be more equivalent to it, and sheet feeding is very good on that, as is roll handling. This has a tray you can load up with paper as well. So the two big ones there. I just don't know about the Pro 1000 replacement. Keep an eye on Canon sites. Look for new printers to replace the Pro 2100, the Pro 4100 and 6100 as well, because they all use the same ink, print head and inks. So if you see an announcement there in some of the large format stuff, it may be indicative of something coming out in the smaller size, the more desktop sized ones. I don't know. As for other printers, that Pro 300, the Pro 200 are still too recent. They sell well. You're not seeing them massively discounted. They sell well, so they're still going to be around. I don't see any replacements for those for several years yet. And the question I'm asking is, will there be high-end ink tank printers? Not yet. There's still far too much money to be made on selling cartridges, and that will continue for a while. Remember that the Pro 300 is essentially, in some bits of it, the same printer that was the Pro 10 and then the Pro 9500 Mark II before that. So it goes back a long way. It works. 200 and 300 are excellent printers. I just don't see Canon replacing them anytime soon. Epson and the Epson ET8550 and also the 18100, good printers I've looked at. Do I see them big? I wouldn't be surprised to see a new EcoTank, fairly high level one next year sometime. I have no knowledge of this, but It wouldn't surprise me. They have sold well. I wouldn't be surprised to see something coming in. But once again, not in a hurry. If you want a good printer, 8550, 18100. 18100 still for some reason not available in the US. I have no idea why. Idea what. That's purely Epson US is doing there. P700, P900 replacements, I think they're still a bit too new. There may be newer versions of them. I'd like to see newer Epson printers pay more attention to paper handling. It is, if I had to pick an issue with them, it would be some aspects of sheet paper handling. They are very good printers and most people never ever see problems, but there are areas that I think could be improved on that. But would I still happily use one? Yeah, if you gave me a P700, P900, I'd happily use it. I have no difficulty there. I've still got the Canon TC20M here. That's a 24-inch printer. Made this print here with it. It's surprisingly good for a 4-color printer. Will we see something like this but with more colors? Maybe a 6-color printer. Now that would be interesting at this size. I think it'd probably be a bit more expensive. By the way, Epson do some similar printers to this, and I am hoping to have a look at some more stuff next year. Had quite a few things this year in the last few months which have sort of limited some of my testing a bit. But come the spring, I'm going to be doing an awful lot more printer testing. I say this particular one here, I'm looking forward to seeing what it can do. I think that'll do well. If it's anywhere as good as this one here, then it should be. This, by the way, I see as a split in the line, not a successor to this. This should still be available. So, you know, not a lot to say. If you see good deals for printers, accept them as good deals for printers. There is nothing at the moment that I know coming up that would make me say, hold back on something at that. I know of no printers like that. So if you've got any information, do let me know. Always appreciate it. Questions on printers and the likes. If there's specific things on printers you'd like me to cover in reviews, that and also articles, just let me know via the comments here. I put some links to some of the information I have got in the notes to this, but in general, no, I don't know of any new printers that have not been announced. One little bit I would say, if you're looking for Epson kit, do keep an eye on the Epson US website, because they have a long-standing, many years habit of jumping the gun on international things. So you'll often find stuff on the US site that's been announced quite some time before the rest of the world was thinking they were going to announce it, this in particular. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I hope I have some new printers to show you sometime. Thanks.